What's cracking, everybody? New video. Um, I know I should bring out the green screen and not be lazy, but honestly, I wasn't really planning on doing anything today. I was just chilling and enjoying my weekend, and then I said, you know what? Let me at least look around. And so, you see the thumbnail, you see the title. Once again, well, for those of you that don't get it yet, or don't understand what's going on, apparently there's going to be a movie made. Hollywood wants to make a movie about Fidel Castro, right? And they have decided that James Franco is going to play Fidel Castro. What caught my attention was the headline where John Leguizamo called bullshit on this. And I salute John Leguizamo. A while back, I did a video on how whenever Hollywood does do a movie, um, well, whenever this is a little off track, but not really, right? Whenever Hollywood does something with a Mexican story, they don't want Mexican actors. They have a fear of Mexicans. And I know that the movie American Me has a part to do with it, but this was going on before American Me, So American Me is just a crutch. It's just something for them to use as a scapegoat, right? Excuse me. But this, I think, is one of the all-time lows for Hollywood. Whether you agree with them or not, whether you like him or not, Fidel Castro is an iconic figure in history, especially modern history. He was involved in some serious stuff. He stood up to the United States. It didn't work out for him. Russia left him hanging in the end. But how is it possible that Hollywood could think, let's make a movie about this iconic figure and let's get a white person to play this role? I saw on the comments, in this little controversy that's barely starting to brew, and it should get a lot bigger, that people were saying, well, it is acting, right? Well, of course you can act. You can, there's been movies where, men have played women roles, and, that's acting. But that just shows the insensitivity to even say something like that. Well, isn't it acting? It is acting, but why? How is it possible that there isn't an actor who is Latino or Hispanic or Cuban even, right? He's Cuban. How is it possible that there isn't one who's a better actor than James Franco? I don't think James Franco is known to be a great actor, right? And so I get the whole name recognition thing. So put other stars in the movie as backup roles. Do something where you're respecting the character and the people rather than just saying, no, I want to make a movie that I know a lot of people will flock to because this is an iconic individual, and I want to put a big name actor so I can get even more money. Hollywood is showing that they don't give a fuck about the people who were directly affected by Fidel Castro. They don't give a fuck about the community. They give a fuck about the almighty dollar. This is just another in a long, long, long list of incidents where Hollywood just says, like, fuck you guys. And this goes back to my last video where I said, we have got to keep our fucking foot on their neck. We have the numbers to say, hey, we need to be heard. We want to be heard. It's time for us to utilize our voices, to utilize our majority as a minority, to figure out how to set aside our petty differences. You know, I was having a conversation the other day, and I was telling somebody how it's so hard for us to get a foothold because we are too busy tearing each other down. And I don't think any other people on this planet does what we do to each other. I know I've said this a bunch of times, and those of you that have heard it have heard me say it, or probably saying, here he goes again. But it's the damn truth, man. You know, we have raza born in Mexico saying the raza born here aren't Mexican. We have Mexicanos disliking Salvadorians, Salvadorians disliking Mexicans, and Guatemalans. You know, it's nobody has to even divide us in order to conquer us. We have divided ourselves. How do we get an equal footing if we can't even fucking respect each other and accept each other? This is the reason why Hollywood's like, it ain't nothing. John Leguizamo, he ain't nobody. He don't have no star power. The Cubans are very, 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 very politically savvy. I don't know if everybody is aware of this, but even the term Hispanic or Hispano, how it's used more than any other term to identify our people, that was the Cubans that did that. That was the Cubans that made that push and made that mainstream. And the reason why is because most Cubans are either white, black, or mulatto, but they're not white enough for white people to accept them. They're not black enough for black people to accept them. And the mulattoes aren't accepted by either, unfortunately, right? What a sad state of affairs. And so what did the Cubans have that could attach them to a huge number? The Spanish language. And so they pushed on Primer Impacto, on Univision, on all these channels that they had. Push this Hispanic word, this Hispano word. Let us link with them over this language and become powerful that way. We all need to become more politically savvy. We all need to figure out how to unify and how to be heard. There's way too many of us here. John Leguizamo's right. And those of you that are offended by Hollywood once again wanting to profit off of somebody from our community, from our ancestry, and yet not allow someone of that ancestry to play the part, to have that role, we're all right to be upset about that. It's time for us to keep making noise. Like I said in my last videos, the groups in this country, the minority groups in this country that have stayed on people and made their voices heard are represented more than anyone else. So I'm going to go ahead and just end this one here. Like I said, I didn't plan on doing anything today, and I don't expect this to do much, but I felt that it was necessary that I put this out there. And I'm looking forward to the feedback in the comments. Even the hate that I seem to get, I'll get a lot of it, you know, and that's fine. But let's communicate. And let's make sure that Hollywood understands that, hey, we need representation, especially when you're talking about us and you're making a movie off of us and you're making millions and millions off of us. So with that, stay safe, stay smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out.